Hi, this is Pete Cohen, and I'm really excited to be able to present to you the Organo Gold business opportunity. I have been a coach for many, many years. I've worked in business, worked with lots of athletes, helping them perform. And I have Ronnie O'Sullivan here with me today. Hey, Ronnie.
How you doing, Pete? You all right?
I'm doing very well. Thank you very much.
Good.
So, Ronnie, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, obviously, I suppose people that know about sport, know snooker, know my career pretty much, as well as anybody. And I've been a pro now for 23 years, 5 world titles, 5 UKs, 5 Masters. So I've had a great career. Love my sport, enjoyed it very, very, very much, and been a lot of highs and lows, but in general, there's been a lot more highs than the lows.
Fantastic. And you and I met probably about 14 years ago, I think, and we worked together for a couple of years. But I approached you about 18 months ago regarding this business, the Organo Gold business opportunity. So, Ronnie, why did you kind of get involved in this business?
First of all, obviously, I was kind of attracted to the presentation that you gave to me. I looked at it and kind of liked the setup of the business model. I've kind of come to a couple of your presentations. I see it. I like the product. I've tasted the coffee and I said, yeah, I like this very much. I like the effects that it can have on you. There is a thing of drinking too much coffee and sometimes you can get over jittery. Whereas this one, I know I can drink 3, 4, 5 cups and I don't get them sort of same reactions. So, and I like drinking, I like hot chocolate. So for me, the hot chocolate's great before I go to bed. I take them to toilets and with me. I can have the sachets in my room at any place, at any time, wherever I am. And I just like the idea of the business model of working in network marketing. And
and you also like the fact that you can see this business model could actually help a lot of other people.
Yeah, that's what I'm attracted to. I'm into self-development myself. So, I've always wanted to pass on my knowledge to other snooker players. I wouldn't pass it on to every snooker player, but if there was a snooker player I've liked, I've kind of said to him, look, do this, do that, do this. And I've seen them get results. And for me, that's kind of exciting. And a lot of people say to me, but you're crazy, you're mad, you might have to play me in your next match. And I was like, you know what, I've been in trouble before and I've always hoped and would have liked for someone to reach out to me and have helped me. And, I've had people like yourself that have, them friendships are ever long lasting because, they're touching moments, and for me to help people, I get a great buzz from it. So this is a perfect opportunity to kind of sharing that with everybody else.
Yeah, because I think the reality is for most people it's hard graft. This is a conversation that you and I have had a lot in the world of business and just trying to survive. People are getting more and more squeezed and it's hard for people to create the lifestyle that they want. Now you have a fairly good lifestyle, right? But you're looking not only to create a better future for yourself and for your family, but you like the idea of doing that for other people.
The opportunity to get involved in the business where I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know who I'm going to meet. All I know is that it's exciting. I'm inviting people into my business that are equally up for a challenge, equally up to get out there and meet new people. And for me, that's kind of where I kind of really know that this is the right business for me, is that I know that I'm going to be out there and reaching out to people that I'd never normally reach out to unless I was involved in this business.
And that's already started to happen. So all of you that are listening to this have got a real opportunity to come into business with Ronnie O'Sullivan. But I suppose the question we want to ask all of you is, how many of you would like a better future? How many of you would like more freedom, not just necessarily in money, but also in time, being able to do what you want, when you want? We all know that right now things are more difficult than ever. This isn't us making stuff up. The world is struggling. People are working harder than ever. More and more people are in debt. And we really encourage you to look at what we're about to present to you and for you to make up your own mind. We're not saying that you should give up your day job. This is the sort of business that you probably want to do outside of your day job as you start to create. In fact, there was a famous man who said, you work full-time on your living and you work part-time on your fortune. But look, this is how when people talk about pyramid selling, this is when you talk about network marketing, a lot of people talk about and say, oh, that's pyramid selling. Network marketing is a legitimate business. It's been around for years. It's not pyramid selling. And these are the real pyramids. If you work for a company, the reality is, look at the person at the top. Most of us are never, ever, ever going to get there. And that's how we see things. So if you were taking business advice, I wonder how many of you would want to take advice from this man here. He's one of the richest men in the world. And look what he says. If I was starting again, I'd choose network marketing. This is Donald Trump with beautiful hair. He was on the David Letterman show, and people laughed when he said that if he was starting again, he'd choose network marketing.
It's always funny when you listen to, like, I mean, I watch Dragon's Den, I follow a lot of entrepreneurs, and I've read a lot of books on people that are in that position, and they say they love their job because they never know what's around the corner, never know what deal's on the table, they don't know what their next deal's going to be, who they're going to meet. And you can only have that type of lifestyle if you're your own boss. Whereas if you're a supervisor or you're someone working for that, you're given a job, you're given a description, you're just a number. Yeah. And it's like, you will stack shelves, you will do this, you will help him get that. And I just think that is hard. That's a hard life.
And I think most people would like a way out.
And that's what I was saying. Just thinking about this, it gives people an opportunity to be their own boss.
Yeah.
To meet the people they want to meet, to take it where they want to take it, to have, to build up their own confidence and their own leadership, to be able to go and create their own business and have something that they've created and be part of something that's growing and they grow with it. Whereas working for a company and being, there's very little chance of sometimes getting up that ladder. I mean, you're either, there's a lot of politics, I would imagine, involved.
Absolutely.
In that. Whereas this, it frees you up from that, and I think it's a people's kind of business in a way.
Tell me what you were saying before about when you started playing snooker, what people were saying about you, and if you'd agreed what people have said with you.
Yeah, I mean, it was just interesting because you gave me the book Think, Grow Rich, and to be honest with you, once I see that title headline, I thought, ugh, Think, Grow Rich. I hate the thought that people, all they want to do is just measure their success by how much money someone's got. And I've never kind of been one of them people. So when I've heard the title of the book, I just thought, it's another one of them books. Mm-hmm. But actually, once I started to read the book, I started to see that it's actually it's a mindset for successful people.
Yeah.
And once I started reading the book, I started to kind of relate a lot of what's said in that book to my own life. And I've got to be honest with you, it's only been maybe 2 weeks since I read it, but it's changed a lot of how I interact with certain people. Mm-hmm. You start to, how a successful person will react to you, and you know how an unsuccessful person will react to you. And what I've kind of, it's helped me do is, for first of all, it kind of made me look at how my own career started off and how, if I would have listened, when I first started playing snooker, I was young, I was aggressive, I used to go for everything, and everybody does, well, not everybody does, but most young players kind of just have got this enthusiasm to want to pop balls. And I remember playing adults and good players, and I was 10 or 11 and I'd beat him and they'd go, he's just a mad potter, he plays all the wrong shots, you can't go for that, you can't do that. And I used to sit there and listen to him, and it'd be like, and it wouldn't just be them saying it, it'd be everybody else talking about it, and I'd be thinking, maybe I have to change my game, maybe I do go for it. But I used to think to myself, but the pots that I'm getting or going for, they look like easy pots to me. So in my mind, I kind of thought, well, why would I play safe on a ball that I know I can pot? The aim of the game is to pot balls. The aim of the game is to stay at the table and dominate the table. That was what I thought. That's how I won a lot of my matches. And there was a bit in the book where it says, if you listen to everyone that says you can't do this, you can't do that, you wouldn't do anything. And I kind of thought, well, if I'd have listened to all them people that said I went for crazy shots, I would never have made it. And now people look back now and say that I'm probably the most successful, talented snooker players ever played. I know Hendry's got 7 world titles, but it's still not bad being just behind Hendry and Steve Davis, who are two of my greatest heroes. And like I say,
from doing things your own way.
From just believing in myself, following a passion, just saying, no, I'm not going to listen to you. You might think I'm going for crazy balls, but I think they're good balls to go for.
Yeah.
And a lot of things I've done in my life as well, this is nothing to do with snooker, but so people know this, I change my mind a lot. One day I love the game, one day I don't love the game. One day I want to play, one day I don't want to play. And I kind of and a lot of that is kind of like, it's a tapestry that runs through my life. So one minute I want a chicken sandwich, I'll be in a restaurant, I go, I'll have a chicken, then I go, no, can I change it to fish? And no, can I change? And I can see the waiter just thinking, come on, make your mind up.
Yeah.
They're getting quite frustrated with me, but I've just learned now that when I make a decision, just stick with the decision, see it through, and then it doesn't give the mind so much time to get confused. And I'm only a quarter way through the book, but I'm loving what I've got out of it so far, and it's like that. The first part was just, be passionate, be obsessional about it. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to be excellent at something, you need to be obsessional and passionate about something you do. So for me, the book has helped me so much to probably definitely more than any self-help book I've read.
Well, that's good, because we're going to look at that book in a bit more detail. But look, Organo Gold is big business. That's why Manny Pacquiao, Greg Norman, they're in the business. Ronnie's in the business. Organo Gold's not paying them any money. They have to just do the business like everyone else. The company's been going for 5 years. And look, you just look how much money there is in coffee. I mean, whether it's Starbucks, whether it's Dunkin' Donuts, who have changed their logo to a coffee cup. It's not a donut anymore. And lots of people drink coffee. And you like coffee, but you've never drunk too much of it, right?
I like to drink coffee now. So for me, you started me off. I can't remember what the first. I think it might have been a hot chocolate, because I said, well, let me try this hot chocolate, because I stay in a lot of hotels a lot, and you have to use the one they give you in the room that you dilute water.
Yeah.
So I tried, and I was like, I like this hot chocolate. So for me, I take them sachets everywhere I go.
You like the mocha?
Yeah, I like the mocha. I love the mocha. The mocha is the king for me, you know.
So coffee is obviously big business, but for most people, coffee gives them the jitters. Coffee's quite acidic. Here comes a little bit of a science lesson for you. You have to be careful not to drink too much coffee. A lot of people have problems. Lots of athletes drink it. Lots of people just go through their whole day drinking way too much of it. What's unique about Organo Gold is that we have something in the coffee that makes it healthier. This is a mushroom. It's called Ganoderma or Lingxi or Reishi. It's been around for thousands of years, and that is what is in the coffee. Now, this is Dr. Rakowski. He's one of the top nutritionists in the world. He had 20 athletes at the London Olympics. And Ronnie, I know you've always been into health and well-being and looking after yourself. You really appreciate the importance of nutrition. But if you're trying to get someone to improve their nutrition, it's difficult. And we know that by simply changing your coffee and getting this into your diet, it's going to help you. This is some of the athletes that Dr. Rakowski has worked with. That's Evander Holyfield. That's Yao Ming, who's a 7-foot-tall basketball player. And I met him through my wife having cancer. I never, ever in my wildest dreams would have imagined that I'd be in a network marketing business, and I never would imagine I'd drink coffee. I now love network marketing. I think it's the best business model in the world, providing you find products that people like. So if you just look at this slide here, you'll see that regular coffee dehydrates, raises stress level, raises blood pressure, it's acidic, it's toxic, it causes jitters for a lot of people. Whereas our coffee, because of this magical ingredient that's been around for thousands of years, it balances your pH levels, it oxygenates your body, boosts your immune system. And I know that you're pretty popular out in the East, Ronnie. They love you in China. And, these are two of the original emperors in China holding Ganoderma. It was reserved for the emperors. If you were found with it and you were not in the royal family, they would chop your arm off. If you're found with it again, they'd chop your head off. It's called the king of herbs. On its own, it's disgusting. We've mixed it into tea and coffee, making it palatable, making it gourmet. This is what Ganoderma does. It's incredible. And that's really got to be one of the main reasons why you're involved, right? Because you love health and well-being.
Yeah. I think everybody knows I'm into my fitness, I'm into my running. I write a food diary religiously. I'm very aware of what I put in my body. I've been known to go and have the odd McDonald's and stuff like that, but it's just such bad stuff. But I love just putting good food and good drinks into me, and the health benefits with this Ganoderma. It's something, if I'm going to be drinking 3 or 4 cups of coffee a day, I want to be drinking stuff that's going to do me good, that's going to enhance my ability to run faster for longer, make me stronger in the gym, make me able to concentrate better at the snooker table. I mean, to play snooker for 3 or 4 hours can take a lot of concentration. For me, if I don't put the right fluids, the right food into my body at the right times, then a little 5-10% off my performance can mean the difference between winning and losing. I know there's small margins, but at the top, the difference is small margins.
Yeah, and if you're into athletics, you're into working out, training, what you need to understand about this mushroom is it's what's called a nitrate donor. So that just means it dilates your blood vessels, you get more oxygen into your system, and it helps to minimize inflammation. And inflammation is really what most of us, if we ever have a horrible disease, it will probably be related to inflammation, whether it's heart disease, cancer, diabetes. So this has been around for a long time, and believe you me, the whole world is going to know about Ganoderma, and the whole world is going to know about Organo Gold. Organo Gold's been going for 5 years, and it's done over $1 billion in sales. So is it the right business? Well, look, that's up to you to decide. Ronnie and I are just presenting this opportunity to you. It's really up to you what you do. But look, these are the 4 fastest growing industries in the world. How many of you are watching this online? You know, the internet is big business. Health and wellness, is that big business? Well, I don't know about you, but I spend a fortune on, I go to a health club, I drink bottled water, I take some supplements. Yeah. This is a worth trillions, this industry. And coffee, you might not know this, those of you that are listening to this, but coffee is the second most traded commodity in the world. It's the most consumed drink after water. This is an opportunity.
I think a lot of it is about balancing the books. You know, a lot of people, it's hard to be healthy 100% of the time.
Yes.
So if you can include coffee as being one of your, you know, turn it into an unhealthy one to a healthy one, you know, I mean, we're all going to want the odd McDonald's, the odd Burger King, but to balance the books up, it helps by kind of, if you can get little things that you do on a regular basis to become your asset rather than something that's not good for you, and then, you know, I always regard it as balancing the books, because no one can be good all the time.
No. And I tell you, you wouldn't believe some of the feedback and testimonials we get from people that take these products. But if you combine those businesses, the internet, home-based business, health and wellness and coffee, you've got a super business. And that's what Organo Gold is. Your business is managed online. You can do it from home. It's a healthy alternative, and it's coffee. So this is a sort of business for everyday people. They can get involved and they can do well. Is it easy? Well, it's called network marketing. So you have to work. But look,
that was another thing that was important to me as well, Pete, is that obviously I know the products 100%. I know the infrastructure set up. Me on my own couldn't go and get that. Me on my own trying to get into an industry, they're not going to help me out.
No.
Whereas to come for this and get all them added benefits, for me that was a massive attraction, because I've been around for 25 years and I've kind of got a good name, good reputation, and I wouldn't want to lose it. But I know that with Organo Gold, I know that their reputation and levels are that high that it kind of fits. So for me, it's a safe business to be involved in.
Yeah, I think it's safe. I mean, obviously, I absolutely love it. But look, coffee's not a luxury anymore. People are prepared to go to Starbucks, McDonald's, Burger King. I mean, just think about, where's Ronald McDonald? I don't think he's around anymore. McDonald's had to reinvent themselves after that film, Super Size Me. All of these companies are trying to get you to go in and drink coffee. We have something different. It's this mushroom that we mentioned. It says 2,000 years, but actually it's been around a lot longer than that. It does all of these things, you know, oxygenates the body, as we've said. It's better, helps circulation. So the company has no debt. The products are halal. The teas are kosher. They're USDA organic.
Teas are brilliant.
The teas are, well, absolutely. We'll look at those in a minute. We have an incredible array of products that, you know, if people like sweet things, we've got mocha and latte. We've got black coffee. We've got green tea. We've got iced tea. We've got a black ice. The black ice is perfect in the summer, but also for athletes. And look, this is Mr. Greg Norman. Now, Ronnie, you're a fan of golf, aren't you?
Yeah.
This is he's I think he's the 20th richest sports person of all time. And he is an Organo Gold. And this is another range of products. These are pods. These fit in the espresso machine. We also have in supplements as well, the different parts of the mushroom. The bit that goes in the ground, which is the mycelium. Then the mushroom itself, the Ganoderma. And then when the mushroom spores, it germinates, that's the spore powder. That's an unbelievable supplement. It's just most people don't know about it, but they will. Now, these are the 3 leaders of the company. This is in the middle is Mr. Bernie Chua. He's the CEO and founder. Very clever man. He found something so powerful in the Chinese world of health and found a way of infusing it into something that people do on a day-to-day basis. Now, on the left, that's Mr. Holton Buggs. He is the #1 income earner in the world of network marketing. I think last year he was estimated to have earned 15.5 million. Now, a lot of people say this type of business is only good for people when they get involved in the beginning. And I tell you, that is absolute nonsense. You never would have wanted to be involved in this company in the beginning. They had no website. They had no customer care. This is the perfect time to get involved in this business, especially if you are hungry and you want to do something. On the right, that's Mr. Shane Moran. He's the global master distributor. Now, Ronnie spoke about this book before. Now, this is Think and Grow Rich. It was published in 1937. It was written by a guy called Napoleon Hill. And he modeled and interviewed many, many successful people. If you look at the book, it's got the Organo Gold logo on it. Organo Gold has produced 50 millionaires in 5 years. I know it's not all about money, but the Think and Grow Rich Foundation, they approached Organo Gold, and that was the first time in their history to form a strategic collaboration with them. Please don't think that this is some sort of Mickey Mouse business. This is the real deal that is seriously changing the lives of people. And that's why Greg Norman, who wanted to buy Organo Gold, is involved. And we can share with you a resource where he talks about why he got involved. It's very uplifting. Manny Pacquiao is in Organo Gold. He used to hate coffee. He loves to help people. This is a business that is dependent on how much you help people. People sign up into it. You don't make any money by people signing up. You have to help them, helping everyday people. So I'm going to go through this part quite quickly because it does take a bit of time to understand. But if you want to get involved in the business, we'll arrange a time to speak to you and help you understand. But most people in life, they get paid one way. In Organo Gold, there's actually 8 ways. The first way is just through retail. So whether it's going to be in snooker clubs, which I'm sure it's going to be, health clubs, spas, whether you want to just raise some money for a charity, whether you want to sell a box to your neighbor, whoever, the first way is retail. And you can make up to 50% profit on retail. The second way is when someone comes into your business, Organo Gold give you a bonus. The third way you get paid is what's called the jewel team. Now, this looks like a pyramid. It is, but it's actually quite misleading because you don't just have 2 people in your business. You can have hundreds of people in your business. And all this means with the jewel team that you start to earn between 10 and 20% of the commissions of people who come into your business for their first 2 orders. Another reason why the business is so great is the better you do, the more you're rewarded from it. And if you look at this slide here, this is where the real money in Organo Gold comes from, which is when people reorder. But not just the people you've introduced to the business, it's the people they've introduced to the business. And if you look on the right-hand side, this is a very paid, fair structure in which you're not going to be at some advantage because of the people that you brought into the business. Anyone that you bring in could earn more money than you, depending on how hard they work. So the company benefits you for developing leaders. And the global pool, the company takes 3% of its profit and distributes it amongst certain levels and above. So my wife and I, we're Ruby consultants. We get €400 a month that pays towards our black Mercedes. It's pretty incredible. You know, I think it's a super business. And literally for £60, you can enter the business and buy the product at wholesale. If you want to build a business, then £190. You get 10 boxes, you get a website. It's not a franchise like you have to pay £1,000, £10,000. No. Once you're in the business, you can do business in 39 countries around the world. You can upgrade to silver, you can upgrade to gold, you just get more commission. We can help you with all of this. Organo Gold's mission is to be the most admired company in the world and occupy 1% of the world coffee market. So let me just ask you a question. If you feel this is the right opportunity and you want to be involved from the ground up, working with myself and Ronnie, then let us know. We can arrange a time to speak to you and help you understand what it takes. Now, I know, Ronnie, you're a big fan of Richard Branson, right? And just read what he said there. I mean, if someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, just say yes and then learn how to do it later. Now, we understand that some of you will and some of you won't, but you've got to do what feels right.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, because it's the same with anything like snooker, like running. You know, you just kind of, you know you like it, you know it's for you, but, you know, if you were to tell me what the road ahead, I'd probably have gone, you know what, I'm out of this. But once you get involved and you get absorbed in it, you kind of just learn as you go along. And the more you learn, the better you get it. And the better you get it, the more successful you become. So it's just that's just like a principle for everybody in life that's been, well, I could only apply it to my own, what I've done in life, and that's snooker and running. And then my biggest passions, cooking is another one. But I found that the more I kind of got in there, the more
you get better. I
become better, and now, you know, I feel fully qualified at quite a lot of things, but only because I went in, I knew I liked it, I knew it felt right, and it's a process that you go through.
So if you want to find out more about this business, you can let us know. We'll give you the contact details and we can help you answer your questions, and we welcome you if you want to come into our family and take this business on. So thank you for listening. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.